welcome to another video of SEAL series. So this is what? This is a question from CSAT 2022. Okay, what does the question say? The question says when 70% of a number x is added to another number y, then the sum becomes 165% of the value of y. Okay, so 70% of x is added to y, it becomes 165% of y. When 60% of x is added to another number z, then the sum becomes 165% of z. When 60% of x is added to y to z, what you get? You get 165% of z. Then which of the following is correct? You need to tell the relation between x, y and z. So first I will do it as I think it should be done in the exam hall, that is in very short terms. Then we will understand the concept that is used here at length. Understood? Let's get started. So what it says, 70% of x, okay, so 70% of x, that means 0.7x plus y is equals to given to be 165, that means 1.65y. Okay, I'll send it there. What it will become? 0.7x is equals to 0.65y. That means y is greater than x. Similarly, 0.6x plus z is equals to 1.65z. So if it will go and become 0.6x is equals to 0.65z. Now what this gives me? This gives me clearly that x is greater than z. So answer will be z. X is greater than z, then y is greater than x. So the answer will be A. Okay, this is how you should have done this. Now of course how I wrote this, how you compare it, that we'll see in detail. Understood? Let's get started. Okay, now understand this concept. Okay, if something is written like this, let's say A into B is equals to C into D. Something is written in this format. Now first thing that you should understand, that if this is written and I also tell you that B is greater than D. Now if B is greater than D and it is written like this, then what can I say about A and C? Understand. Now A and B when multiplied is giving you equal to C and D. Now if that means B is bigger, D is smaller, but the value of them is equal, correct? So eventually after being multiplied by A and C, it should become equal. That is why when I will compare A and C, what I will get? That A is smaller and C is larger, correct? Then only their product can be equal. So you get A is less than C. First thing is this, that you understand, that if B is greater than D, then when you are comparing A and C, the signs will be exactly reverse. So if B is greater than D, then A will be less than C. For example, let's do this. 12 into 5 is equals to 15 into 4. This is correct. 12 5s are 60, 15 4s are 60. Now let's compare this. 5 and 4. So 5 is greater than 4. Of course you know this. Now can you see 12 and 15? What is the sign between them? 12 and 15. Which became greater? 15 is greater than 12. So sign will always be opposite like this. So if this number is smaller, if this number is bigger, then this has to be the smaller one from the other one. Understood? That is how it works. If one number is greater, then the other has to be smaller than the counterpart. Otherwise they won't have become equal. Now this is very useful when you write something like this. Let's say 8A is equals to 9B. Okay, now you have to compare which will be bigger. Let's say A or B. One way of doing it is, as we have learned just now, what is bigger? So 9 is bigger than 8. Then what will be the sign between A and B? Just the opposite of this. That means A will be bigger than B. This much you get, easy way. You write sign between them and this will become the sign of the remaining two. So A will be greater than B. Now just by observation, see this. Here A and B are written like this. Now clearly A is coming out to be greater than B. What can I also do here is this. See, if 8A is equals to 9B, then can I not send 9 here? Can I not send, let's say, B here? So what you will get? You will get 8A. Here it is being multiplied. There it will get divided. So 8A by B is equals to 9. This is fine with. Then I can also send this 8 here. It is in multiplication here. It will get divided here. So what you will get? You will get A by B is equals to 9 by 8. Now this also clearly tells you which is bigger. A is greater than B. That is clearly A is equivalent to, in this ratio, if you consider them, the common term between them is 1, then it becomes 9, A becomes 9, B becomes 8. This is one possible value. Clearly A is greater than B. Okay, that is why whatever is written now, if I see anywhere, let's say 243A is equals to 77B. Now something, right, this is written. I know what will be A by B. Directly you tell me A by B will be, in place of A I will get the opposite one, that is 77. In place of B I will get the opposite one, that is 243. That's it. So from this you directly write this instead of thinking anything else. Okay, that this is written like this, then A by B will be just the opposite of each other. Understood? And why it will happen? Because this number on being multiplied by a bigger number is still giving the same result. So this is the smaller number. How much small? Whatever is the ratio between them, the opposite will be the ratio here between A and B. Simple. Just when you have to compare, this is the easiest way. It looks more intuitive. 8 is equals to 9B. 9 is greater than 8. So just sign opposite, A will be greater than B. Understood this? Then now that you get this, now you can think of doing this also. One more concept to understand. Okay. Now, if I have to write %% of X. Now, or let's write 60% of X. Now, what are the ways of writing 60% of X? Okay, let's see. First is this 60% of X, you can write it like this, or 60%, percent means divided by 100 into X. So this is 60% of X. This is one way of writing it. Other way is you write it like, see, 60 by 100. Okay, this 60 by 100 can also be written as what? This can also be written as, if I cut 0, 0 and 6 divided by 10, that is 0.6x. Can you see this? 60 by 100 will become 0.6x. This is another way of writing it. Now, another way of writing is writing it as 60 by 100 was written, 60 by 100, you cancel 0, 0, then you cancel what? 6 and 10. How many times it will go? By 2, 3 times, this will go 5 times. Correct? So this can also be written as, 3 by 5x. These are the 3 ways in which you can write a percentage. Understood? All 3 we use in different questions, whatever our need is in the question. Okay, so it can be 60 by 100 into x, it can be 0.6x, it can be 3 by 5x. Now, which one to use when is what you learn by doing questions. But these are the 3 ways of writing 60% of x. Similarly, you can write for others also. Okay. Now, if 60% of x is 0.6x, then 70% of x will be what? It will be 0.7x. Then 80% of x, just this way I am telling, will be 0.8x. Now, if I tell you 5% of x will be what? Is it 0.5x? No. This is 0.5x is actually 50% of x. This will be 0.05x. Okay. 2% of x will be what? 0.02x. That's it. That is the way you write them. Then, once you get this, this is all you need. Now you can do this question. Now, see, all you need is to compare all three of them. You don't need the exact values. You don't need the exact ratios also. What you need, just which is bigger than what. So let's start. It says when 70% of a number x, when 70% of a number x is added to another number y. Now 70% of x is added to another number y, it becomes 165% of y. Okay, let's write this. 70% of x is what? 0.7x. This you have just learned. Okay, just after 2 you add decimal because it is being divided by 100 after 2. So 1, 2, 0.7x. Then plus y is equals to, here what you will write? 165% will be what? See, 165 divided by 100 again. After 2 you will introduce dot. So it will become 1.65y. That's it. Once you write this equation, it becomes very easy. What's the next thing? 0.7x is equals to 1.65 minus 1. What you will get? 0.65y. Now, how we used to compare? Simple. 0.7 is greater than 0.65. Then what will be the relation between x and y? Just the opposite. That is, y will be greater than x. Simple. Now, same thing we will do for z part also. What it says? First part we have got what it says, when 60% of x is added to another number z, then it becomes 165% of z. Okay, 60% of x. Now I can directly write it as 0.6x. correct. 60% of x plus z is equals to 165% of z. That means 1.65 z. Yeah, it means 1.65 z. Now what you do? You send that z there. What you will get? 0.6x. 1.65 minus 1. What you will get? 0.65 z. Now again, what you will do? Again you will do the same thing. Which is bigger? 0.6 or 0.65? Clearly this is 0.60. So 0.65 is greater than 0.6. What will be the relation between x and z? Just the opposite of this. So if this is greater, what will be greater? X will be greater than z. Simple. So x becomes greater than z. Now you combine both of them. What is given? X is less than y, but x is also greater than z. So this is what you get, and this makes your answer as A. Understood? Whenever you have a question on comparison, this is the thing you need to do. You need to write in this form. It becomes much easier to see, and after that you compare them like this. Okay, instead of thinking of ratios, reducing them, all those solutions you can find on the internet, those are not good solutions. This is a much better solution. Okay, in fact, if I have to tell you intuitively how I would do it is, see, just see carefully. Okay, now what is 100% of anything? 100% can be written as 100 by 100, correct? Like 60% can be written by 60 by 100. That is, if I cancel it out, it means 1. So 1 or the whole is equal to 100%. So 1 is equivalent to 100%. Just like 1 by 2 is equivalent to 50%. 50-50 kar lete hain, half. That means 1 by 2 is equals to 50%. 1 becomes equal to 100%. Now see carefully. Okay, how much x you are adding to y? You are adding 70% of x, and how much you are gaining in y? So you add 70% of x, but you gain only 65% of y, because 100% is 1, correct? So that means when you add 70% of x, what you get? You get 65% of y. Clearly this says you what? This tells you what? That clearly y is much bigger than x. So from here 70 and 100 you minus from here, what you get? 70 and 65. That means y is much bigger than x. Now you come here, 60% of x adds 165% of z. That means adding 60% of x is equivalent to adding 65% of z. Correct? So which is bigger? Just adding a smaller portion of x makes it equivalent to larger portion of z. That means x is bigger than z. So directly you can get to this answer. Otherwise you can do this also. This is also very short, but don't make it fractions and cancel them out. That is not required. Okay, understood both ways? That's it for this lecture. Thank you.